हाम्रो theta को ठाउँमा के छ? Yes, exactly. Half r squared d theta, because in place of theta we have d theta. So this is the area of, only this is infinitely small sector, okay? But we want to find out total area from theta 1 to theta 2. You will just do one thing, you just integrate. Now our integration ko kura hai, you just integrate from theta 1 to theta 2 and you will get total area. So this is how you are going to get your area. Similarly, तिमीको parametric curves को लागि your function is x equals to some function of t, y is some function other function of t. In that case also you are going to apply this formula, and your formula is half x times dy by dt minus y times dx by dt, your function by तिमीको, and you are going to integrate with respect to t, and definitely your limits of integration will be change in t. Okay, t values में कसरी change भइरहेछ त्यसै के आउने भयो. All right, so let's start with exercise. Your first question gives you idea why you have to choose your limits of integration very carefully. Now I have taken this question because you all are very much well aware of the consequences if you take limits of integration 0 to 2 pi, where you have to find out area of y equals to sine x with x-axis from x equals to 0 to x equals to 2 pi. So if you take limits of integration 0 to 2 pi, what will happen? What will be your result?
0.
Definitely 0 outside. Na? If you calculate area of this, then you will get 0, because you know that this positive area and negative area gets cancelled and you are left with only 0. Okay, so to avoid any such situation, what are you going to do? Always take minimum possible limits of integration. So here there are two possibilities. हामीसँग दुईटा options छ. Either we take from 0 to pi by 2 or we take from 0 to pi. Okay, we have two options here, but to avoid again same situation, always take minimum possible integration. So here also we are going to take 0 to pi by 2 and minimum possible limit of integration liyo भने तिमीहरुको calculation part will also get easier, isn't it? So 0 to pi by 2 liyo भने y dx multiply by 4, because we have calculated just 1/4 of the area. So this is just to explain you why your limits of integration, taking minimum possible limits of integration is important. So let's talk about polar curves first. पहिला यसो गरौँ, polar curves लाई trace गरौँ, because it's just matter of limits of integration and formula एकदम सजिलो छ. So that's we will discuss this. अनि हाम्रो limited छ नि त हैन, उसमा हाम्रो curves पनि limited छ. We have polar curves. In polar curves we have talked about only rose petal and cardioid. So you have to just remember cardioid and rose petals. So let's look at this. Okay, and I want response from you all. Okay, I will keep on asking you questions so that I can make sure that you are very well aware, remember these curves. Okay. Yes, I used subquota, and in the same time it will let me know that you all are really actually attending classes. I use subquota. I'm going to, yes, those who are not going to respond or don't let me know by any means that they are facing any problem, I will mark them absent. Okay, I'm going to mark them absent. So yes, Ayush Sapkota is not responding. I'm going to write down his name. Ashutosh Adhikari. I hope by now you have looked at the equation.
Yes, ma'am.
Ashutosh, do you remember how many loops we have for this curve? Quickly, I want to answer quickly. Yes, Achal Shakya.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, Achal. I always get confused. Yes, Achal, tell me how many loops you have.
4.
Really?
Wait. 4 and square 2.
Yes, 2 loops. So can you tell me what will be limits of integration if you are looking for area of this curve? Do you remember? हाम्रो r को value for what value of theta you are going to get totally different r value from 0. Theta from 0. Okay, let me show you your loop. This is your loop. This is your loop. Okay, so for what value of r you are going to get totally different sorry, for what value of theta you are going to get totally different r, and then there is just mere repetition of same values. Yes, Achal? Quickly, Abhishek Subedi? Abhishek
Zero
Subedi?
देखी pi by 4 की miss.
Very good. It's pi by 4. Okay, from 0 to pi by 4. How much of area we are going to get from for this limit of integration? Anjala Adhikari. I'm cross-checking your attendance also.
1 time.
How much of area you are going to get from for integrate if you integrate from 0 to pi by 4?
4.
What?
Sorry ma'am, मैले बुझिन हजुरले भनेको फेरि रिपिट गर्दिनु न.
अरु बेला मैले बोलेको बुझ्छ?
हजुर.
ए,
1 by
0
4 ma'am. Sorry.
1/4 of the area?
Yes.
Very good. So you see, you are going to get this much of area, isn't it? 0 देखिए
Yes.
pi by 4 सम्म. Okay,
Yes,
this
ma'am.
much of area you are going to get. So कति one single loop, एउटा loop को चाहिँ half of the loop you can say. You are going to
Yes.
get area of half of the loop. So यो केसमा चाहिँ हामीलाई कति loop find out गर्नु भनेछ? कतिवटा loop को area find out गर्नु भनेछ?
All single loop ma'am.
Yes, exactly. You can clearly see I've highlighted this so that you can notice that it is asking you to find out only one loop. Okay, so you are going to do what? This is your formula to calculate area of a polar curve. This is your formula. Half r square d theta. You can keep yourself in mute mode now. Okay, so from theta equals to 0 to pi by 4, you are going to multiply by 2 because question says find out area of all loops, single loop. Okay, so you are going to get half of the loop. That's why you will multiply by 2, and r square is calculation of integration is very easy. You have to just integrate a square cos 2 theta. So for all the questions, integration part you all will be doing. Where it is difficult, I will discuss with you, and rest of the things we will just discuss what is the limit of integration and kotile multiply garne, that part only. So we will be just discussing that. Okay, so now let's look at other question, and all of you, when you read equation, just carefully think of whatever question I asked right now. I will be repeating those questions to rest of the students. Okay, so Arun Subedi, your equation is r equals to a cos
Yes, ma'am.
theta. R equals to a cos 2 theta. Do you remember how many loops for this equation?
4 loops.
Very good, 4 loops. What will be your limits of integration?
0 to pi by 4.
0 to pi by 4. Okay, so yes, multiply कतिले गर्ने? Look at read the question and tell me कतिले multiply गर्ने?
8 ले multiply गर्ने.
Very good. You're going to multiply by 8. So this is your curve, and this is your loop. तिमीको loop यो छ, चारवटा loop छ. चारवटा loop छ, अनि 0 to pi by 4 गरे भने you are going to get half of the loop, so multiply by 8. So I'm not writing it here, it's quite obvious, I'm leaving it. Okay, so now let's discuss this. Which curve is this? Yes, Anisha Kumari.
Yes, ma'am.
Which curve is this?
Ma'am, cardioid.
Cardioid. कति limits of integration कति लिने अनि कतिले multiply गर्ने? Can you think about it?
Ma'am, एकैछिन ल. Ma'am, 0 to pi by 2, 0 to pi सम्म लिने अनि अनि होल गर्नलाई चाहिँ इन्टु 2 गर्नुपर्छ.
Yes, very good. And 0 to pi लिने भने कसरी थाहा पायो? You looked at the curve?
त्यो हर्ट सेपको यस्तो कर्भ थियो नि त त्यही भएर.
Yes, this is your curve, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
This is your curve, and you see this curve is totally different from 0 to pi. 0 to pi सम्म totally फरक छ. अनि त्यही भएर के गर्दिने यहाँसम्म एरिया फाइन्ड आउट गर्ने, and then it's just repetition from pi to 2 pi. So you will find out area from 0 to pi, multiply by 2, and you will get your total area. Okay, very good. So now let's look at another question. Integration part is easy, I'm leaving. You can clearly see that you have 3 loops for this curve, r equals to a sine 3 theta, and Ashma will tell me what will be your limits of integration ani katile multiply गर्ने. Ashma will tell me. R equals to a sine 3 theta.
From 0 to 3 into 1 minute.
Yes. Take your time.
Ma'am, 0 to 2 pi by 3.
Really?
No.
Anjan Gaire? Ashma, you can just tell me what is this theta? Pi by कति? 0 देखि कहाँसम्म r को भ्यालु फरक आउँछ? r को भ्यालु कता मिनिमम हुन्छ कता म्याक्सिमम हुन्छ? मिनिमम त यहाँ देखिहाल्यो 0 मा मिनिमम छ. म्याक्सिमम कता हुन्छ? जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट. यो जब 3 थीटा पाई बाई 2 को बराबर हुन्छ तब तिम्रो sin थीटा म्याक्सिमम हुने भएन? sin of any angle is maximum. So what is it?
Pi by 6.
Very good.
Pi by 6.
Yes, it is pi by 6. Okay, so from 0 to pi by 6 you will get 1/2 of the loop, so you will multiply by 2 because question says find out area of only one loop. एउटा मात्र लूप बनेछ, so multiply by 2. Entire region बन्यो भने multiply by 6 accordingly. Okay,
Yes.
so let's look at this question. Yes, before we look at this, let me ask you one question. No, not only to Ashma, this is for everyone. What is r equals to a? Ashma, you can mute yourself. Yes, r equals to a, what is this?
सर्कल हो कि मैम?
Yes, it is circle because you see r equals to a भनेको के भयो? R is equals to constant, हैन? A भनेको constant. We are using this for constant value, हैन? So whenever your r is constant, it means that whatever your theta value is, irrespective of theta, you see no theta value here. So irrespective of theta, whatever your theta is, r is always fixed to a. So तिमीको your value of r is same for every value of theta. So सबै theta को लागि तिमीको distance from origin is same means circle. Okay, that's it. So you're provided with one equation, two equations, equation of circle and equation of cardioid, हैन? Cardioid. So this is it. This area, this yellow area is the common area between your cardioid and circle, because you see r equals to a means everywhere it's a, and r equals to a 1 plus cos theta means your r for theta 0. When theta is 0, you are having 2a value. When theta is pi by 2, you are going to have r equals to a, and when theta is pi, you are going to have 0, value for r if it is cardioid. Okay, so where is your circle and cardioid meeting? At pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by 2 मा पनि meet भयो हैन, तलमाथि meet हुन्छ. Okay, so this is your, this yellow region is your common area between these two. So you have to find out this area. Can anyone tell me how to find out this common area? Can anyone just use your logic? Keep this in mind that you are not going to
कार्डियोइडको
use
चाहिँ पाई बाई 2 देखि पाई सम्म लिने अनि यो सर्कलको चाहिँ 0 देखि पाई बाई 2 सम्म लिने म्याम.
Very good. Very quick answer. Quick response. I like it. Who's this?
Me, Bisek.
Abhishek. Okay. So your
Miss
solution
pi by 2 intersection गरे हेरा.
yes. त्यो भर्खर चाहिँ डिसाइड गरेन हामीले pi by 2 मा r for cardioid and r for circle will be same. Cardioid को पनि a आउँछ नि हैन, pi by 2 र 3 pi by 2 मा त्यही भएर. So 0 देखि pi by 2, so you can see this area can be divided like this. This area you can divide it into two parts like this. From 0 to pi by 2, you can see its area of only circle. From 0 to pi by 2, 0 देखि pi by 2 को सम्म. And from pi by 2 till pi by 2 till pi, it's just area of cardioid only. From pi by 2 till pi, यहाँ देखि यहाँ सम्म blue area. Okay, so that is why what are you going to do? From 0 to pi by 2, you are going to find out area of a circle only, and from pi by 2 to pi, you are going to find out area of cardioid only, and then add these two area and multiply by 2 for your total area. Okay, that's how you are going to go. All right, so let me show you how will you apply formula for this. So your r, this is going to be your formula, area equals to half r square d theta. Same formula we are going to use. From 0 to pi by 2, you will use r square of circle, which is r square को ठाउँमा कसले replace गर्नु पर्यो? A square. And from pi by 2 till pi, r square will be for cardioid. And what is it? A square 1 plus cos theta square and multiply by 2. Yes, any doubt anyone? This is slightly tricky. This question is tricky. Anybody having any queries? No queries? No. Okay, so let's come back to Cartesian equations, Cartesian curves. All of you keep your curves ready. We will be using it. Okay, let me just look at this equation quickly and try to talk about its symmetry, region, origin, asymptote and all. I will ask one by one. I need to make sure that you all are paying attention. बुझिरहेछ भने थाहा पाउनु पर्यो नि मैले. Okay, let me show you only equation. Yes, Archit Aryal.
Yes, ma'am.
Look at this equation, y square equals to x cube. Tell me, is it going to pass through origin?
Yes, ma'am.
What about its symmetry?
Symmetry चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि स्क्वायर भयो भने हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि y x को अबाउटमा हुन्छ होला.
Yes, very good. What about its intercept? Intercept छ जस्तो लाग्छ? X र y x
छैन होला.
छैन हैन. x0 राख्दाखेरि only y0. When you put y0, you will get only x0. So 0,0 बाहेक अरु कुनै पोइन्टै आउँदैन हैन? Yes. Anybody else? Anjan Gaire, I've already asked. Anjan Gaire को नाम लिए जस्तो लाग्छ. के लिएन? Anjan Gaire?
हजुर.
Did I mention your name before? No. Okay, tell me. What is this? What is the reason of this curve and its asymptote?
It lies from 0 to 1.
My goodness, 0 to 1 only.
Look at me.
When will y be imaginary? Just think about it. Y कब imaginary हुन्छ? X त हुँदैन. x हुन सक्दैन किनकि y स्क्वायर छ त y कतिखेर इमेजिनरी हुने भयो
जब x नेगेटिभ एक्सिस तिर जान्छ
yes that's it so रिजन थाहा भएन नेगेटिभ x हुँदाखेरि y इमेजिनरी हुन्छ भने हाम्रो पोजिटिभ x लाई मात्रै हाम्रो कर्भ लाइ गर्ने भयो so your curve lies in only positive x axis side got it
यस
next asymptote do we have asymptote do we have asymptote
नो
no asymptotes okay so these are your points following these points we will plot our curve okay so हाम्रो equation के दिएछ question मा let's look at it let's just look at it question मा हाम्रो एउटा दुईटा इक्वेसन दिएको छ दुईटा इक्वेसन दिएको छ एउटा लाइन छ एउटा यो कर्भ भयो हैन सो इक्वेसन लाइन को मैले एउटा र्यान्डम एउटा लाइन प्लट गरे हैन नाउ लुक एट दिस your curve is lying passing through origin so सबभन्दा पहिले origin बाट सुरु गर्ने and then you have to decide whether your curve will move in upward direction your दुईटा points हामीलाई आउँछ point of intersection when you solve these two equations you will get 2 points of intersection one is origin and other one is 4,8 okay so now you have to check तिमीको कर्भ कसरी गइराछ अब यो ओरिजिन बाट सुरु भयो x एक्सिस y एक्सिस मा कतै मिट गर्दैन लेट मी यूज अनदर कलर हैन x एक्सिस र y एक्सिस मा कतै मिट गर्दैन ओरिजिन बाट पास हुन्छ अनि इन्टरसेप्ट पनि छैन यहाँ x नेगेटिभ x एक्सिस साइड मा लाए गर्दैन सो either it will be going like this हैन दुईटा पोइन्ट अफ इन्टरसेक्सन पनि आइहाल्यो or it will go like this त हाम्रो कर्भ कि त यसरी जान्छ कि उसरी जान्छ okay now how will you decide so you do one thing just apply one trick x को भ्यालु 0 देखि 4 को बीचमा मात्र इन्टरसेक्सन भइराछ त यो भ्यालुज को बीचमा x equals to 1 पनि हुन्छ 2 पनि हुन्छ 3 पनि हुन्छ so you just check whether your y value for both the curves मध्ये कुन माथि लाए गर्छ जुन माथि लाए गर्छ त्यो माथि नै हुने भयो so you will see when you will check it you will get to realize that it's a line which is going to lie above okay so this comes out to be your curve एउटा portion यसरी भयो now you have symmetry about x axis so you will repeat it in below x axis side also and no curve in negative x axis side so मैले यो ग्राफ प्लटर डेस्मोस बाट clip leko okay duita curve ko now this is the area you are looking for this let me just enlarge it and show you this common area you have to find out so what will be your method to find out this common area how do you find out common area accordingly now you will change your formula for curve how will you find out this common area from 0 to 4,8 yeah dimension पण clearly देखिन्छ हैन come on quickly tell me how to find out this area you all know already
area of line between 0 and 4 minus area of the curve.
Very good. Here you have to subtract, isn't it? I hope all of you know this, है ना? तिमीको line को area भनेपछि this is your area above area, okay? And minus curve को area भनेको यो area त यो दुईटा area minus गर्न साथ you will get the desired area in between, है ना? बिचको area आउँछ. So this is how you are going to find out. y1 minus y2 y1 भनेको area of y of line and y2 भनेको y of your curve given curve okay so now you can easily integrate this integration part is easy now let's look at this now this is your standard curve asteroid this is your standard curve I'm going to quickly mention about its points and then we will look at its curve okay so के छ तिमीको asteroid को equation is x to the power 2 by 3 y to the power 2 by 3 equals to a to the power 2 by 3 now if you write this equation in this way you can clearly talk about everything okay y square equals a to the power 2 by 3 minus x to the power 2 by 3 and whole power 3 so because I'm taking it faster so I will do one thing I will upload all these I will upload it all these files in your teams okay यो सबै म अपलोड गर्छु आज भोलिमा So x to the power 2 by 3 plus y to the power 2 by 3 equals to a to the power 2 by 3 can be written as y square equals like this. I've already mentioned. Now, what about its symmetry? Yeah, x ko ठाउँमा y ko ठाउँमा x पनि possible छ. So whatever you are going to say for x, it is going to imply for both ways y also. So तिमीले जे पनि x को लागि भन्छ त्यो y को लागि पनि apply हुन्छ. So think about it because x and y can be interchanged here. So what about symmetry? Anisha Kumari? Akshita Mittal?
Yes.
Who is this? Anisha, respond or not? Yes,
ma'am,
Anisha.
respond.
Yes, Anisha. Okay, tell me, Anisha, what about symmetry of this curve?
Ma'am, symmetric about both axes.
Very good. Can you talk about origin? Origin बाट पास हुन्छ होला कि नहीं?
Ma'am, हुँदैन.
हुँदैन. asymptote छ कि छैन?
Asymptote.
x को कुनै भ्यालुले y इन्फिनिटी हुन्छ? x को कुनै भ्यालुले y इन्फिनिटी बनाउन सक्छ?
Ma'am, हुँदैन.
हुँदैन है. So no asymptote. Okay. And if you have to talk about intercepts, you can see when you put x equals to a and minus a, x को ठाउँमा a राखौं या minus a राखौं, y becomes 0. Similarly for other side also. So you can say you have 4 intercepts. So you can clearly see here your 4 intercepts. यहाँ clearly देखिन्छ तिमीको 4 intercepts छ. And region पनि तिमीको के हुन्छ? Region. You see when x lies between a and minus a, तिमीको x को value minus a र a को बीचमा lie गर्यो भने y real, otherwise it's imaginary. So तिमीको यो region के हो नि भाइ? Let me draw one boundary. It's for both. यो मैले एउटा जुन, yes, you can see. You can say that this is the boundary of your curve. Okay, this is boundary of your curve. Your curve will lie between these lines only. Here in your lines भनेको you are see you can see that your x is also bounded, y is also bounded because x must lie between minus a and a. Similarly your y lies between minus a and a both ways. So can you resemble this equation with your sabai conditions? This we have already discussed this type of condition before also. Do you remember for which curve? For which curve your all conditions were exactly similar to asteroid?
Circle को लागि पनि हुन्छ होला म्याम.
Very good. Circle को लागि पनि हाम्रो यही छ हैन condition. Okay, हाम्रो region पनि यही थियो, हाम्रो asymptote पनि थिएन, origin बाट pass हुँदैन, and all so on, है? So all your conditions were similar to circle, all right? But because this is not a circle, हाम्रो circle को equation फरक छ. हाम्रो circle भएको भए हामीले यो region लाई यसरी join गर्थ्यो होला हैन? Like this, then this, then this. But here because it's a different equation, so हामीले यसरी join गरेछ. Okay, अब अरु कुरा पनि गर्न मिल्छ, tangent को कुरा हुन्छ, points को कुरा हुन्छ, and so on. When you consider each and every points, you will get this type of curve. But from today onwards, we have just seen कि यो कस्तो condition satisfy गर्छ asteroid ले. But from today onwards, you need not to trace this curve because this is your standard curve. तिमीको exam मा यो curve आयो भने सोध्यो भने asteroid को लागि question सोध्यो भने you need not to trace it. You can directly plot this. You have to remember this. Okay, this is your standard curve. जसरी तिमीलाई circle को थाहा छ, parabola को थाहा छ, आजदेखि तिमीलाई asteroid पनि थाहा छ. All right. Now what will be your limits of integration? Can you tell me? Limit of integration. Change in x. Zero to a? 0 to a. And 0 to, when you do 0 to a, you will get 1/4 of the area of asteroid. So multiply by 4. So this is going to be your integration part. Now you have to think about its integration. Isko integration kasari garne? This might confuse you, so that's why I'm discussing. Excuse me. Now in beta gamma function we were dealing with this type of equation many times. So do you remember what could be the possible substitution here which will help you to transform this function into exactly your property number 8? Beta gamma function ko property number 8 थियो नि हाम्रो 0 to pi by 2 sin to the power something into cos to the power something dx. In that form, how will you convert it?
X equals to a sin cube theta.
Very good. x equals to a sine cube theta, because I've already talked to you about the logic that always remember that if you convert it into this form, and you have to also keep it in mind that your limits substitution जे substitution गर्छ त्यसले यहाँ pi by 2 limits of integration पनि आउनु पर्यो अनि यहाँ 1 minus sin square theta भयो नि you can easily convert it into your property number 8 form. So you see sin cube theta a sin cube theta राखेपछि तिमीको desired form मा आउँछ. So I'm leaving it here. Okay. Now let's look at this question which you have already traced. You all have already traced this curve. Now we will see how to find out its area. Okay. We are talking about this equation. Okay, y square a plus x equals to x square a minus x. So you can check your notes and see whether you were able to trace this curve similar to this. यो तिमीको tracing गर्दा यो आयो थियो कि नहीं? Just make sure. And question says find the area of the loop. Loop को area चाहिए loop. Okay, so loop means this part only. Loop बनेगा I have you all know what is loop हैन? हामीले धेरै curve हेरिसक्यो. So this is your loop. And you have to find out only this area. So what will be your limits of integration in this case?
0 to a.
Yes, exactly. 0 to a. Origin देखि सुरु गर्नु पर्यो until a. Okay. But let me change your question a little bit because you have similar type of situation in another question. So you should know what to do, how to deal with it. Question says find out area of the curve with its asymptote. अब तिमीहरुलाई asymptote सँगको area चाहियो भने what will you do? What will be your limits of integration for this curve? You have to find out area with its asymptote only.
0 to minus a.
Exactly, minus a to 0 exactly हैन. And multiply by 2 definitely. दुईटै केसमा तिमीको multiply by 2 गर्नु पर्यो because you are finding out area above x-axis only. So you should not get confused. Question मा तिमीहरुलाई area with its asymptote भन्यो भने only find out this blue area. Don't find out this another area because it's area of only loop. यो तिमीको asymptote सँगको area हैन. So you have to keep this thing in mind. And now how will you integrate this? हामीले limits of integration decide गरिसके 0 to a. Multiply by 2 पनि गर्नु पर्यो. I haven't mentioned it here. It's quite obvious. So your y is, what is your y? X times, you can see from here, what is your y? Your y is x times root under a minus x over a plus x. Okay, so how do you integrate this function? How do you integrate this? Any answer? Come on, quickly.
A minus x by a minus x ले multiply गर्ने.
Rationalize गर्ने भनौं न. Root under, you can take root under a minus x. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
है तिमीले rationalize गर्न साथ तिमीको integration सजिलो भएर आउँछ. After then you have done this type of integration before, so I'm leaving it up to you. You have to just rationalize. I have mentioned it here, rationalize. Okay, so you will be rationalizing your function and you will get your result. Okay, now this is also curve which you have already traced. I assume that all of you have traced it. You have cross-checked your curve with the Desmos. I know मैले सिकाएको थिएँ कसरी cross-check गर्ने. So I hope all of you have done that part. So now let's look at this. Find the area between each of the following curve and its asymptote. Okay, so earlier I have mentioned two curves, but here confusion by duita curve mentioned गर्दा here. So I have mentioned only one curve. So this is your curve. And you have to find out its area with asymptote. Asymptote सँगको area चाहियो. So this is your equation. I have modified it. You know that you will always take y and x in different sides. So x र y separate गर्यो, so you will get this type of equation. Now what will be your limits of integration in this case? You have two asymptotes, x equals to minus a, x equals to a. What will be your limits of integration? 0 to a, definitely, होइन? Minimum
0 to
possible.
a or 0 to minus a.
Yes, anyone है कि त minus a to 0 लिनु पर्यो, यहाँदेखि यहाँ यो एरिया फाइन्ड आउट गर्नु पर्यो कि त योदेखि यो माइनस यो लिनु पर्यो. So any one of the limits of integration. Very good. So you that is going to give you
इम्प्रोपर तरिकाले गर्नु त पर्दैन.
के पर्दैन?
इम्प्रोपर इन्टिग्रलमा गर्थ्यौं नि हामीले, त्यसरी त गर्नु पर्दैन.
गरे हुन्छ, गर्दा हुन्छ. त्यो कन्सेप्ट युज गर्न चाहिँ त्यो यो हाम्रो नर्मली यो एरियाको टपिकमा आएको क्वेशन्सहरुमा हामीले त्यो कन्सेप्ट नलगाए पनि सल्युसन चाहिँ आएको छ हैन. हाम्रो जुन सिचुएसन हामीले भनेको थियो नि हैन, बट देयर आर सर्टेन सिचुएसन जसमा तिमीले लगाएन भने आउन सक्छ. सो यु डु वन थिङ, ट्राई टु अभोइड, ट्राई टु युज इट. ओके, सो यु क्यान टेक यो केसमा चाहिँ के सिचुएसन लगाउने हामीले, ल भनौँ त. इम्प्रोपर इन्टिग्रलको कन्सेप्ट कसरी युज गर्ने त?
ए भन्दा अलिकति सानो
Yes, yes, yes.
a minus
So you
h
will,
लिने.
yes, limit h tends to 0, a minus 0 to a minus h गरिदिनु. Very good. Okay, so you will be doing that, and here you have decided your limits of integration 0 to a, and then you have to decide how to integrate. How to integrate this? Let's decide, and then I'll wrap it up. अझै एउटा डिस्कसन गर्न मिल्छ. तर तिमीको क्लास छ होला यसपछि? छ तिमीको क्लास?
छ म्याम.
ओके, अदरवाइज हाम्रो अझै एउटा क्वेशन बाँकी छ, त्यसलाई कन्क्लुड गर्न हुन त गर्न मिल्छ. यस, क्विकली डिसाइड व्हाट हाउ विल यु इन्टिग्रेट दिस. एनी आइडिया? सब्स्टिट्युसन. हियर यु विल अप्लाई सब्स्टिट्युसन. व्हाट सब्स्टिट्युसन यु विल अप्लाई? नो आइडिया. नो आइडिया.
x स्क्वायरलाई cos स्क्वायर 2 थीटा हाल्नु पर्छ कि थीटा?
Yes, very good attempt. Very good attempt. You are going to substitute x square equals a square cos 2 theta. Because you know that 1 plus cos 2 theta and 1 minus cos 2 theta तिमीको simplify भएर आउँछ. यो under root पनि हट्छ. अनि तिमीको किनकि x square छ, so you differentiate, you will get x dx in terms of d theta. तो तिमीको x यो x पनि सँगसँगै हट्यो हैन, x dx x into dx, यो यहाँ जुन multiply by dx छ, यो x dx you will get in terms of something d theta. What will be that something? A square minus sin 2 theta d theta. 2 times minus 2a square cos 2 sin 2 theta. Okay, d theta. त्यसपछि हामीले पोलर्सका भर्खर डिस्कस गरिसक्यो. एन्ड देन एउटा प्यारामेट्रिक कर्व छ. यसलाई तिमीको कति टाइम छ? मेरो त क्लास छैन यसपछि. तिमीको मिल्छ भने यो डिस्कस गरिहालौँ. यति मात्रै हेर्ने हो. व्हाट डु यु से? सुरु भइसक्यो होला है अर्को क्लास?
म्याम सुरु भइसक्यो त.
ओके ओके, सो वी विल डिस्कस इट नेक्स्ट टाइम. हाम्रो प्यारामेट्रिक कर्वको हो त्यो क्वेशन चाहिँ हामीले नेक्स्ट टाइम डिस्कस गर्ने. And we will start rectification also next time. So when are we going to have our next class? कहिले छ?